to this point, I wish I had better whistling skills. Needs work. Fortunately, my magic's pretty good. That's what we're here for today. And on that note, I welcome everyone with a salutations, kindred spirits, welcoming you back to Magic Camp, Day 2. Here we are at Camp Conn, where we're making better magic one day at a time. What do I got today to open with? Yeah, that's right. We're getting right to it today. I got a lot of stuff. Oh, I got to say hi to the chat. Everyone's saying hello. Hey, guys, how you doing? Thanks for showing up. Yeah, looking forward to this one myself. This should be a fun episode. That's right. I got Jimmy Talksalot in the back. Let me get through the things. I don't like that one. This is a purse frame. We'll get through this. And generally magicians will use these things to introduce balls. This is a sponge ball. We're probably going to talk about some ball magic today. But more importantly today, our topic is magic wands. So this is a nice, that's what I call the bold. We'll get some marketing done here. That's the bold brown wand. This one is the bold black wand. And this is our loose introduction to the subject matter du jour, as today we are going to focus on magic with magic wands. And I know Jimmy Talksalot knows a lot about these things. He happens to have a couple of these. I'm going to loosely point out that we do sell these bacon wands for a reasonable $10 let me get the marketing in, at conjure.com. You can get a bacon magic. That's the bold black one. I'm thinking this as well. I'm thinking maybe we just give one of these away to one of the viewers on the stream today. So y'all hang around with me for, a loose 20 and I'll pick a winner somehow. I don't even know how we're going to do it today. Maybe I'll type some names into the wheel of names. I think I'm going to handle the bold brown today for a little more contrast with the shirt. So, there's a good question. David wants to know, how are you doing that? Guess what? I can tell you that because we're doing tutorials. We're doing tutorials on Magic Camp Week all week long, making better magic one day at a time. Hey, let me show you what inspired me for this piece. I was going through this wonderful tome, the Bill Tarr 101 Easy to Do Magic Tricks. My first ever magic book. Got this one when I was like 9 years old. And I'm going through it and I saw this. I saw wand from purse. And you can use this technique, and I'll just kind of show you what I put together to demonstrate that. This is what Jimmy might call a Cellini purse. It's a little different than what Bill Tarr suggests in that it's got change inside. Bill says just put a slit in the back of it. And through this slit in the back of the purse, you can create the illusion that you're pulling a purse out of the slit. Now, I just have the purse frame open here. And what I did before, of course, was just use the purse frame. The secret skedoodle here was I employed my watch band. So check out a little addition. And this is something that I was kind of, I learned from really Rick Merrill, who does some work with Sharpie markers using this. I don't think he's the first one to employ things under his watch band, but yeah, I just had a couple of them in there. And for the sponge ball production, it's also a nice, look at this. It palms itself. So this is how I open the stream. And I would suggest that this is a reasonable opener for like a parlor worker, right? You come out here and you get this nice show. And if you're ready to introduce ball magic and magic wand or magic wands, now you just open up. Here's the backstage view, right? I'm just going in through the purse frame, and the watch band is keeping everything in place here. Take a break. You don't even have to palm anything. The fingers are good. And then the first one came out, the second one came out. And now you have the lesson du jour, the kickoff lesson, how to produce a magic wand from a purse frame or a purse. And and as I said, stick around. We're going to give someone one of these bacon magic wands today. Now, what else do I have to talk about? I have to talk about the other giveaway I'm doing. So let's get that out of the way while it's on my mind. We're giving away a Con Man kit. If you missed the skit yesterday, This is our Con Man kit, which I offer at conjure.com. It's 5 things that can be magic, or you can just use them to cheat your friends for money. You get scotch and soda, the classic coin con, loaded dice, 3 shell game, mark cards. And then the trick we're going to talk about today is Daryl's, what he calls the Ultra Monty. And Monty is going to be our key word today. And this is a word you're going to want to use when you make a comment below. You comment on the video. I'm doing it this way to give all the viewers a chance to win this thing, you comment after the stream and you just use the word Monty. And if you do that, I will put your name into the wheel of names. And every time you comment on one of the videos this week, you'll get subsequent entries to win Friday with the wheel of prizes. Now, as I introduce this trick from a marketed magic apparatus, I do want to mention their bicycle cards. And if you're going to do this trick in the real world, what you're going to want to do is put these cards in a bicycle deck. And then you say, hey, friend, let me show you this Monty trick. Do you have any money? And then you start taking their money. Now, I'm going to do a little thing for myself here. Oh, are we playing Joplin? Is it playing? Has Joplin been playing the whole time? Maybe it has. All right, we'll just leave it playing. Can you guys hear Scott Joplin in the background? Yeah, it doesn't matter. I'll find out post-stream. Just wanted to know if we could play a little jazz tune while we're demonstrating a little game. It's a game of hanky-poo. The red's for me, the black's for you, and hey diddle diddle, it's the one in the middle. So you know the scam, right? It's the 3-card Monty. It's the game you can't win. Bet where the ace is and lose. Okay. No audio, no problem. Wait, let me do one more thing here. Let's see if I do this. Boink. Let's see if we hear a little loose ragtime coming in. Regardless, I'm going to continue. You're going to want to keep your eye on the ace of spades. That'll be the money card. See if you can follow where it goes and watch as I do nothing, but I do it very well. It looks something like this. That's what we call the move. It's a secret move that lets me move that ace from where you think it should be to where you least suspect it. And this is how the money is played. You get your friend to bet where you think it is, and then you take their money. Now, I'm going to get right to the skit on here. You can do this under test conditions. And to do so, I'm going to eliminate one of the aces. We'll just use the ace of spades and the ace of hearts. Now, all you got to do is watch close and bet where you least suspect. Now, some will go here, some will go there, but if you listen to what I say, you're going to bet the one that's over here. That's the one you least suspect. That's the winner chicken dinner. And that is a brief demonstration of Daryl's Ultra Monty. And this really is a credit for this should actually go back to Eddie Tatel. No, that's incorrect. That's incorrect. Theodore D-Land. Had to get it out of there. Sometimes we have to dig. Theodore D-Land gets the credit for this gaffe, but it was Mike Rogers and also Mike Skinner who popularized this version of the 3-card Monty. I really like the Daryl version because it uses the ace of spades, which has a bigger pip. So the other versions use the ace of clubs, and it's a small pip. And the ace of spades, in my opinion, is a good advancement on this plot. As with all the Daryl stuff, you get great instructions. I think this has a video tutorial with it. And someone's going to win this package this week. Again, if you want a chance or an extra chance, you comment the word Monty. Be creative. You get bonus points for that. And that's the name of that tune. Now, I had one other thing I wanted to cover before we get Jimmy on here. I was hoping we're in agreement. Well, it also makes it easier to focus on the money card instead of having a small pip, a small pip, a small pip. Having that big card gives the audience a better. Alex, you want to comment in the comment section below the video. What I'm looking for, quite honestly, is a little bit of algorithmic appeasement. Let me get a deck that's open here. Some algorithmic appeasement. Let me just do this trick. Here, we'll just do it real quick. I had a customer, a fellow camper, shopped at conjure.com, bought this trick. It's one of the ones I've demonstrated on the Shorts platform. I'll demonstrate it for you now briefly. It's a story. It's a story about a meeting between the world's greatest gambler and one of the world's top sleight of hand magicians. Now, a game was proposed where each player would get four cards, the blank cards, 4 blank cards, and then they would get this ace of clubs, and using this ace of clubs, they would try to create a good poker hand. This was the challenge, and the magician took this challenge with a snap, as he claimed to have not just one ace of clubs, but now he had a pair of aces, which is a pretty good hand. Even better than that is 3 aces, 3 of a kind. That's a hand that's hard to beat. 4 of a kind. Now, that's a winner in most games. And of course, with that extra ace, if you can get 5 aces, that's going to be a good winner. Although the gambler seemed to disagree. The gambler said, sir, pardon me there. If you have more than 1 ace, you're going to want to have something like the ace of diamonds and the ace of spades and the ace of hearts and the ace of clubs. You show up with 5 ace of clubs, all you're going to win in my game is a bullet. And the magician, he took that ace. He goes, oh, sir, you might have seen 5 clubs, but you did not see 5 ace of clubs. No, you just saw 5 clubs. What you saw was the ace of clubs, the king of clubs. That's the jack of clubs. That's the queen, the 10. That's a royal flush in clubs. Now that's a winning hand. That's my story. I'm stuck with it. I hope you liked it. John Bannon's Call of the Wild. And that is a marketed version of the wild card plot. I see Marty clapping. I can only imagine a universe where there's applause going on, but I'm just imagining that maybe. The move I wanted to discuss is a challenging technique that is briefly described in the instructions. And it is this technique that I think Marlowe put on the map. Let's put some credits here, as Marlowe really popularized. It's known as the diminishing lift sequence. Well, what did he call it back in the day? Was it, am I blanking out again? Classical foursome? I don't think that was it. The diminishing lift sequence. Here it is. I do this a little bit differently than the instructions suggest, in that I start with a multiple lift from the bottom of the packet. Now, this might not make sense to a lot of you who don't have this trick, but you can follow along with the cards in hand and practice these techniques, and maybe it'll serve you well down the line. So a multiple lift off the bottom. I do this just by moving the top card slightly to the left with my thumb, and then I grab everything below it and flip it over onto the top. So it just looks like I turn over 1 card, but I've effectively turned over 4. And again, that's coming off the bottom. That's quite common to start with this situation 4th from the top and do a block push off of everything above that. But in this instance, and if you're doing this effect, you're going to have this ace here, and a multiple lift off the bottom works well. Now, 2 things can happen here. You can use this block push off where the thumb pushes everything above the bottom card, or you can employ, it's actually 3 options. You can employ a pinky pull down of the bottom card to get a little finger separation, allowing you to do a multiple turnover over the bottom card. And then the third option is to use this forefinger at the front of the packet. This is called a buckle. So you're going to buckle the forefinger, pulling with a little pressure, and this will give a little break at the front, allowing your finger to turn over the block there. So that's a multiple push off. That's a block turnover with a buckle. And then the other option is a little pinky pull down, which is, I opt for this when I need to be surefire, but these days a block push off with a little rhythm is what I recommend. And a diminishing lift sequence is simply doing those block turnovers 1 at a time. So here I'm doing 4. I'm going to deal it aside. I'm going for that pinky pull down again as I do 3, deal it aside, and now 2. And I guess I should mention in the Call of the Wild, this is in the hand, so I'm keeping it here. That's 2, that's 3, that's 4 is a single. And then for the 5th one, it's a little different. For the 5th one, we do kind of a bottom deal technique. So I turn this card down, and then I shove the bottom card to the right and take it away as I flash this card. So at speed, that looks something like this. I turn this card down and then shove the bottom card to the right as I show this one. And all of these together will make this royal flush look like we have multiple off the bottom. That's 1, multiple turnover. Block push off of 3. That's the second ace. Block push off of 2. Do a single. Do that bottom off the bottom and then flash this one. And if you want to be real fancy, you can follow this up with a frustration count. And I'm thinking maybe tomorrow we'll talk more about the frustration count and maybe the Hammond count as we're welcoming Marlowe File Brother John Hammond expert Steve Reynolds will be with us here tomorrow. And he is an expert on all these things. We'll talk more about that. Now, before I bring my guy on, literally like my best friend of my life. I've known this guy for, has it been 30 years? I don't know. Let me answer Peter. It's currently unavailable, bro. I'm going to suggest if you're looking for my book, you go look on eBay. I don't have any copies right now. And you're quite welcome. You're welcome, Joey. I hope you enjoy that trick and that serves you well. And hey, GB, I saw you earlier. Thanks for making one. Did he? Oh, there we go. Thank you, Marty, for coming through. Marty, the student Ibidum. What a great volume of information. So much great magic was published in Howard Lyon's Ibidum. But I'm babbling, and I got my buddy backstage wondering, when is he going to bring me on? Well, Jimmy, it's going to be another minute or two because I'm going to promo. What do I have here? I wanted to show people like you doing your thing. So let's see what I have here to show you doing your thing. Okay, here's one. This is a clip. I put this clip on Facebook 2 weeks ago. It's got 4 million views. 4 million views in a couple of weeks because I knew this. I know Jimmy has this draw, this power. I'm going to show you the clip. I don't think I put it on YouTube, so this will be the first time it's ever been seen on YouTube. Let me shut my pie hole, and you guys watch Jimmy Talksalot work in the streets of New Orleans.
Watch the cigarette. It's gonna do something. Watch the cigarette. It's gonna disappear. It only takes about 5 minutes. Right. That's pretty good. No. I'm just going, wait. What? It's a good one. They put me on TV. He's going to put me up on the TikTok. What? Fact is, I've been trying to quit him. Seems like every time I do, though, it comes right back. I don't know what to do about it. I've tried to quit it 1,000 times. 1,000 times, it comes right back. I put it away in the pocket, but it might burn a hole, so I don't do that. Watch the cigarette. Started to think maybe I've got a smoking problem. I don't know, I got it. We got it.
Now, a couple things about that clip. I chose that clip for Facebook for a couple of reasons. We're going to look at Jimmy with the crowd in just a second. Filmed about a year ago. He was here during the pandemic, and we got to film some of Jimmy. But this, for me, has a lot of heartstrings when I think of the masters that led to Jimmy doing this trick. I'm sure we'll talk about that more in just a moment. And Jimmy will hopefully maybe share a little bit of his magic with us. I think he's preparing to talk about magic wands. But before we bring him on, I want to show one more clip. I filmed a lot of Jimmy. In fact, one of the first videos I ever put on YouTube was Jimmy. We did a 10-minute clip. He had published this book, which we'll talk about, To Lure with Spectacle in Our Mysterious Society. This is a 2007 release. And in 2008, I put a video of him online thinking this would be good marketing. I was interested in YouTube. And I put a link in the description of this video to that clip. If you guys want to go see some old school Jimmy, go watch Walking in New Orleans. It's a fun little piece of blast from the past. But this clip right here, this next 45 seconds, this captures, I think, how, where is it? There it is. This captures Jimmy's persona, and you get to see him telling the people how it is. I'm going to stop babbling again for a minute. Here's Jimmy. Wait, let me babble one more minute. I should mention, this is about 9 a.m. I come out of the coffee shop. I'm getting coffee, preparing to street perform for the day. And there's Jimmy on a cold and windy Sunday morning. No one else dare work, but there he is with the crowd. And here he is telling them how it is. Here's Jimmy, folks.
Today we've done a very mysterious thing. Today, in the 21st century, we have kids and grown-ups watching something together outside. And here's your real magic. We're all watching it, right? But there's no screen in front of us. And nobody's doing this to talk to each other. And not once, nope, not even once, did we have to use any bad words or vulgarity to have fun. They don't even remember how to do that stuff on the TV or in the movies. So this must be real magic. We must be performing miracles or something. But that's just my opinion. But if you share that opinion, you might want to clap now, Maybe they think you like this every 50 years.
I share that opinion. I've heard you tell the people many times how special it is to enjoy a performance live. And hey, I hope you guys will put your hands together as we welcome live on the internet. There he is, ladies and gentlemen. Jimmy Talksalot. Buddy, welcome to the internet. How are you today?
I'm good.
Thank you, first of all, for your patience as I babble through the things I'm doing here. I told you it'd be 10 minutes. I kept you waiting 20.
Oh, that's fine. I was enjoying the magic you were doing.
Thank you. Your check will be in the mail. So where do we start, man? When did I meet you? Was it mid-90s? How far back do we go? Remind me.
At least 93, or it might probably before that. I don't know.
So
Magic Masters.
Years?
Magic Masters.
30 years.
Oh yeah, it's been. Yeah.
And I feel like we could go down the rabbit hole of how'd you get started, yada yada yada. Goldbug mentioned the Magic Guys episode. You were on a podcast with me and some of my buddies, Jason Maher, another street performer, and Josh Norbito. I would suggest viewers that are interested in learning more about you, go watch that. And then we can get in here and start talking about some of the meat. I'm thinking maybe we can talk about some of the lessons that you talk about and the lure with spectacle. And
Yeah.
you got a few, you're a writer. You got writings to talk about. But is there something on your mind that you would like to talk about before I start, directing where this conversation should go?
I saw you doing the stuff with the Cellini Purse and the purse frames.
Yeah.
And I have the way I want to show something that I do.
Great.
All right, so I'm not going to really. Well, let's see if I can get an angle to do the trick. I don't know the way I'm set up here. It's hard for me to do magic tricks for y'all.
Make it work, Jimmy. Make it work.
Let's see if you can see the stick. All right, so I do the trick,
Yeah.
and then I've got the purse,
Hold
and
on,
I come
man.
over and open it up and get it out. But
Would you do that again so we can all appreciate the beauty of this?
all right, so watch. I'll do the flip stick. It's hard. I'm all wired up here.
Yeah, there's problems. I get it.
Yeah, but the point is this.
Yeah.
Okay, so what it is that with this one, what I remember, well, on the other podcast, I was trying to explain that I didn't that I try and use non-gimmick stuff.
Yeah.
Right, because it's easier on the street, not because I'm some sort of arrogant, stylistic kind of elitist. It's because I'm usually on the road, and it's kind of, if there's an emergency, I want to have something that I could just get.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
I love gimmicks, but I've only
I love gimmicks
that I use on the street, and it's
Yeah.
a tip and a coin shell.
I
right.
I love
the coin
gimmicks.
shell gets dented and it ruins my day.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's exactly. And then where am I going to get another one if I'm on the road?
Right.
Sometimes
even like this, sometimes you just leave your stick at home and that ruins your day, right?
Oh, yeah.
You leave your stick. So imagine it being a $300 magic gimmick that, drop down the sewer grate.
Yeah. And am I going to wait 3-4 days or whatever for it to get shipped to me wherever I am, or how am I going to get it? Sometimes I'm in some crazy places. But anyway, so here's how I do it without the gimmick.
No gimmick.
Okay. All right. So of course, when you're in the flip stick, you're right here, right?
Wait, so maybe can you just for 1 second tell people what the flip stick is? Because
the flip stick is it's a thing where it's where the stick. I don't know how to show this, but show it wrong. Anyway, it's where the stick flips over.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. It just flips over. All right. It doesn't go up the sleeve. You're doing it wrong. If you're going up the sleeve, that's a different trick.
The second finger to pull it back.
Yeah, you just pull it back. Yeah, that's essentially it. But I like to have tension
at home, folks. You'll find this stuff in Tarbell 7.
Right. Exactly.
Okay, that's a flip stick.
All right.
So how do you get out of that purse without a gimmick?
Okay, so I have the purse closed. I have this right here. I don't know if you can see where it is.
Right.
See between the thumb and the finger right here.
Yep.
Right. And then what I'll do is I'm going to slide the bottom of. Okay, let's come over here. I'm going to slide the bottom of the purse under the thumb, under the stick.
Ah.
All right. Okay. And then I'm gonna snap it. Now here's the trick: is that these two fingers are going to reach into the purse as far as you can go, but underneath the two middle fingers, these fingers here, are going to grab the stick. All right. So they're going to grab the stick, and they're going to pull it. I don't know how
I get it. From there, it's pretty self-explanatory.
They're going to pull the stick, so it comes out like that. So anyway, so it just comes out. But the fingers are all going to meet together as soon as they can.
Yeah.
So the illusion is the whole hand went in.
Also, I was going to ask, and you are doing this.
Yeah.
The one finger goes in the purse, right?
Two fingers go into the purse.
Okay.
So what? So here, so you notice that I'm really digging my thumb and my finger.
Yeah.
Into the purse.
Right.
Meanwhile, the other one is clipping it.
Mm-hmm.
And the two that are clipping it underneath the purse are actually pulling it, and then they come together right there at the end of the purse. And if you do it quickly enough, they can't see. The illusion is it just comes out of the purse. And so now I do this with coins inside, and you could actually let them examine it. You could do another trick, where anyway, but it goes on.
This is where
it goes on.
Goes off on 30 minutes of one.
Yeah, I won't do that
if I don't wrangle him in here.
Yeah, but I wanted to show that because that is a great move to learn if you're in a tight spot and you don't, if you can't find the proper like the way that the proper purse is it was actually sewn in, and everything. It takes a lot of.
That's right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And with this one, there's no work. You buy the purse, you do the show, Yeah. Plus, I don't know. I try and get used to doing things. Oh, what I'm holding here is all different lengths of wands. Like this one here, this is a 12-incher, and I've just put black. This is just a dowel, a pine dowel. You buy them at Walmart.
Okay.
Okay, and they're real skinny. So I put black duct tape in the middle, and that way you can see how it's kind of chipped on the bottom. It's because I'm banging them on the ground or table all the time.
Boy, that's an understatement.
Yeah. Then also,
do the dowel rods hold up on the street?
Yeah, but they're not very loud.
Yeah.
But the
I
reason
always call you using a drumstick. I'm assuming you have some there, right?
I'm getting to that. Yeah.
Right.
The reason that I have these, here's one without the duct tape, is because I've been using a table. You can bang it on the table, but also it's a lot skinnier. You see, it's a lot skinnier, right? And if I don't have any sleeves or anything, it just gives me a lot more for or any other trick I might be doing.
Yeah.
But really, what I'm doing with these is for sizing. Okay. I do this with everything, whether it be coins or the balls that I use. I get all different sizes, big, little, until I feel that until I feel comfortable with that size. Then I go and I buy the appropriate size.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, here's a 12-incher, and I think
generally I want to pause for you. Use a shorter one most of the time, right? What is your preferred?
My preferred is 10 inches, and I think 9 inches, I guess.
Yeah.
Let's see, is that
small?
9 inches here. So here's the 9-incher.
Let me interject briefly here. David O's commenting that his wand's too long. I want to show something I learned from Kevin James regarding the flip stick, and he used a wand that was, this is I think 13 inches, and I think that Kevin James was doing the flip stick with a 15-incher. But he had a real nice handling where he would do the vanish, and it was long enough that he could extend it to his elbow here.
Yeah.
With the finger. So now you would have, this isn't quite long enough for that, but now you have this freedom with that finger holding that against the elbow. So I'm suggesting that you can do it with the longer one, and that maybe there's some advantages of this. So, David, size doesn't matter. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. All right, so continue your ramble, sir. Thank you.
All right, so here's an 8-incher, right? Here's I think this is 6 inches, I think, and I have the tape measure out for a reason. Yeah, 6 inches.
6 inches.
6 inches, right? And then I start going to pens.
With a 6-inch magic wand.
Pens and I got tricks. So, but anyway, this little guy right here, this is a must for when you're trying to work at home.
Here's my magic wand. I use one. This is my other one.
Oh yeah, see,
it's the 1-incher.
Okay, so here's one of my pride and joys. This is 12 inches. This is oak, hand carved by Eric Evans.
Yeah, I'm gonna need you to send me that.
So anyway, here's another one. One of my best friends and teachers and mentor, Doug Conn, had sent me. This is actually the one that he was showing you. But there was an accident.
It wasn't an accident. It was here's what we did, folks. I'm handling one of these beautiful wands that we sell at Conn.
Don't do it again.
For $10, you can't get a better stick. But I know this. I know Jimmy's going to fit like a bat out of hell. He's going to go out in the street and do this. So I'd say, Jimmy, you're going to break this thing. And I broke it, proving my point. And then what does Jimmy say? He said, hey, man, I'll take that.
And I cut the other end off. It was perfect. 9 inches, perfect wood. And I'm driving to a point. All right. But the last thing here is this was originally a drumstick. Originally, I used it. It was probably 13 inches, something like that. Then I went down, down 12, 10. I kept cutting it down and sanding it down. I'm now at 9 inches with this. Seems to be the most perfect because it fits into my jacket perfectly, just perfect. So I could walk around with this without a table, without anything. All right. But the reason I'm talking about drumsticks, or the one that Doug Conn is selling, is because these particular woods, when you bang these on the ground, they make a cracking sound. And this cracking sound can be heard. My Southern's coming out. Can be heard probably a block away. All right. You can't get that with these pine dowels.
So what we're getting here now is street lesson 1, the importance of sound.
Yeah. The acoustics are crucial. That's why I use silver coins instead of those fake, the fake ones.
Yep.
Or if I've got to use a jumbo coin that's fake, I go out and I get stainless steel. It doesn't have a beautiful sound like silver, which would be the better one. But I don't know if I want to take that much silver out on the street with all them crackheads and whatnot out there. But I use stainless steel because when you toss that on the ground, you get that banging, clanging sound. Once again, can be heard a block away. Color, sound, and movement. You want them to hear you from far away.
Learn that color, sound, movement.
Yeah. Oh, from Cellini. That's Cellini's famous. I think he was most famous for that and Stop the Child, Stop the World. And those are two things I do.
Those are very important. And look, of the color, sound, movement, sound by far.
Oh, yeah.
It could be sound. You know, your props need to make sound. Your voice needs to be proper. And then I think the crowd making their sounds. Yeah, make them clap and cheer. Make them make some noise. But but what I do with the reason I get a crowd, I think is the quickest crowds I get are the ones where I'm throwing my character out there. I'm telling jokes so that everybody can hear me that's going by, and those people that are into my kind of comedy or my character, they stop, and everybody else keeps walking. And good riddance to bad rubbish, because I don't want them hanging around. They're going to ruin my show. So I just want the people that are into my character, who are, I don't know how people say get me or whatever, but they just like what I'm doing. And so they'll stop on a dime and they'll watch. And then other people, even if they don't maybe like me so much, they might be into watching other people like me. Right. And they probably won't give me too much trouble in my show. But so I'm casting a net of my character. Okay. What? And there we go. You just said the main word, character. Yeah. This is
casting my net of my character. Yeah.
Which, what am I looking at here? I've got your manuscripts. Would you consider you did a manuscript focusing on character?
Oh, the elusive hymn.
Now, a lot of magicians just think you can go out there and just do your tricks and they'll like the magic and everybody's happy. It's not the case, huh?
No, I tried that.
Yeah,
I really believe that deep down, and it's just not. That's not really the magic, anyway. I think we misunderstand magic. The magic is the experience in the moment. I mean, if you're just telling a story, and it's an enchanted story, that could be the most magical moment in a person's life. The hero of that story, even the teller, is feeling magic. So, anyway, the character to me is the end all be all. It's the thing that stops the crowd, holds the crowd, and gets me paid, and I don't even have to be there consciously. The character does all the work.
We're listening to basically a living legend of busking. Tell us the most important thing is the character. You said it's the end all be all, right?
Yeah.
So here's our lesson today. You can do the flip stick, you can do the diminishing lift and your ball magic and whatever, but if you don't have a strong character, you're not doing it right.
That's my opinion. I've noticed that with all, not just magician street performers, but every other type of street performer that is out there. In fact, sometimes it's crucial, especially if they're not doing stunts. Like a magician's kind of a stunt street performer, like a juggler, like a dancer, or somebody who can do something other people can't do, right? But then you have people that are out there trying to do comedy, and there's just a guy just standing out there talking to people. Well, he better have a character.
No doubt. Well,
because he's got nothing else.
You're much like that, though. You work with basically nothing, or for the longest time you did. You just show up with a rope and a stick and some coins, compared to say a straight jacket act or the cups and balls acts and most magic acts, which have a lot of furniture and props. To step into a busking arena and just approach it with character, and even really, this is not a slight, but your magic is not like,
no.
You'll close with the net, right? Which, some guys.
My magic is rudimentary and basic. It's beginner magic.
I've got 6 oranges and your signed bill is in one of them, or I got a piece of rope going through my neck.
Yeah. No, my magic is not. No, I don't. I mean, some of the things I've been doing so many years, that they're smooth, but they're not. I wouldn't say that they're. I mean, it's nothing like what is that guy Hollingworth or whatever, the card magician, the Hollingworth guy, who I think is magnificent, a genius. But I'm nowhere. I'm not. That's not. I'm more of a clown out there, really.
So, but Guy is actually a great representation of character. You know, you get this refined Englishman presenting intricacy.
Oh, I love him. Yeah,
it's super strong.
I like Zabrecki too. Zabrecki's got a strong character. Think about it. Most of the magicians that we know of that are making money, where people are paying to see them, are famous characters.
It's all characters. It's all characters. You know, and I love pointing out when people tell me like how magic's supposed to be done. I just point out all the successful magicians in the world who all do it differently and break all the rules, you know? They're all Zabrecki, for example. This guy draws on his face with a Sharpie marker.
Yeah.
You know, so what do you do?
He's a case in point.
Or you know, everybody does it differently. The most popular magicians of our time, you got David Blaine, who mumbles. You got Penn and Teller, who expose magic, and they're braggadocious and a duo act. You know, Copperfield still killing it in Vegas with his mega illusions and his I still think I'm sexy attitude. There's just hey, it's a great show, man. I'm just saying, you can do it all. And then there's Piff in a dragon suit down the street.
Oh man, I love that guy. Once again, character. You know, so that's all. That's character driven. He does great tricks. He does some great tricks. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
he does really good magic, but it's that character that's carrying them all. I think really magic. I think what a lot of magicians they don't understand if they've never gone to the street and they go out to the street, they don't understand that what is happening here is that the magic trick is solely just the special effect of the show. These are just the special effects of the story that you're giving. It's like when you go to a movie theater and you see Star Wars or whatever you're watching, those are special effects, but that's not the important part of the movie. The important part of the movie is what's happening with the characters. What each character. What are the boy meets girl. Girl gets kidnapped by dragon. Boy slays dragon. Boy, gets girl. So, whatever. These are the things that are.
Can you like give a helpful tip to a beginner, like someone that's trying to grasp character? Where would I start, man? Like, where do you even start with this?
I think
it's hard, right?
Well, every time, a lot of times when I say these things, I have a lot of people disagree with me, and I think I'm a little bit elitist, I guess, in the eyes of many.
Great.
But I think that,
I love it.
Okay,
if people are disagreeing with you, you're probably doing something right. So what's the
I think here's what I don't believe in mediocrity. So I don't like it. I never have liked it.
Right.
So I think that if you belong out there, you're born to do it. Now this is where most people disagree. They're like, no, it's just like riding a bicycle. You can learn it, you can practice it. I said, yeah, and you might be mediocre at best, but you're not going to be great. I don't believe that could happen unless you're born. Okay, so if you're born to do it, then the solution is very simple now, because it's in you somewhere. So all you have to do is remember when you were a kid. You think back when you were a kid. What was my image of a magician? What was my first image of a magician? What was he like? What do I think? And that's you. So it's a very esoteric type of answer. I know, I know that, but I would try there, because I have students all over the world, and I've done this with all the students. They've all found their character.
So
they've all found their character, but they haven't ended up mediocre.
In general, I feel this, like it's very, very hard, even for great actors, to encompass another persona, right? Like rare is the performer that brings a De Niro quality performance to where you're just so believing that character. Yeah. So your best hope probably is to be yourself, or or an enhanced version of yourself.
Right.
Or,
Right. Once again, okay. There's an old saying in magic, and it goes, I think it's Houdan or something. He said that a magician is just an actor playing the part of a magician. I've never believed that, and I've talked to some other magicians that are historians, and they said that when he said that, he was the only one that agreed with that. Nobody agreed with that in the magic world when he said that, or the other magicians disagreed with, because I don't believe that I am an actor.
Yeah, I disagree with that. That quote is actually a snippet of a longer quote that is
right.
We could talk further about.
I mean, actors don't need to learn double lifts.
Being a magician is much more intricate than being.
Really, we have a thing, and it's important. We are just as important as all the other arts. And so, but anyway, and I don't want to get on that big data, but I'm trying to get with the character. Okay, so I think that I think that it's inside. Just like you were saying, Doug, it's easier to be yourself. So if you are a magician at heart, like, if you were born to do these tricks for people and entertain and amuse people and spread love for people, if it's deep down inside you, if you have that bug, and if you have that bug, if you're always doing magic and you can't control yourself, you were born to do this, right? Yeah. So it's deep down inside you. Just find out who that guy is. That's you. When you were a little kid imagining that magician in your head, that's just you matured. So just buy the stuff that guy had. Like, what was he wearing? Buy those clothes. How was his haircut? Cut your hair that way. What objects did he have in his hand? How did he get to work? Did he drive a car? Did he commute? Did he take the subway?
Who are you, Jimmy?
Do that. Huh?
Did you answer that question for yourself? And if so, who is Jimmy Talksalot?
Well, yeah, I had on my journey to try and find. I remember seeing a footage of Cardini. I'm not Cardini. I don't think that I'm Cardini. But when I saw footage of Cardini when I was a kid. Now, I didn't know anything about magic at that time. I was so young. I was just a little kid. One of the first memories I was having, and I remember seeing him in an old movie. I think it was like Laurel and Hardy or something. And I told magicians about it, and they said, no, we don't know what you're talking about. And I talked to Gaza once. He says, no, I was with he was with Cardini's wife. He was living at her house or something, or hanging out with her, and he had saw it. And he said, no. I said, oh, so I remembered that. It was kind of like where it was a tipsy guy at a party in this movie. And so I always thought, man, that seems like a real magician, because it's really happening to him. He's not trying to make it happen. It's just happening. So the magic is real and it's happening. And then when I went out to the street, I tried to be like Sonny Holiday, So, you're trying to find your character. I was, a young guy trying to find my character. And I said, I'm going to be out. I almost got beat up a number of times.
So, I think let's pause here, because the natural course of action usually is to emulate others when you perform. Yeah. And rarely is that the solution that's going to be a good one for anyone.
Yeah, the whole fake it till you make it. Yeah, fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
But I don't think, anyway. So, but it's good that you're going out, because in the book I said that it's better to go out and do something than stay at home and plan something. And I do believe that. You should practice out on the pitch. You should get out there, and your audience is your best teachers. And they're brutally honest.
And we're talking about Sonny Holiday. I have a couple clips of Sonny. They're old ones, but if you want to know what an angry magician's act looks like, you're going to want to go find Sonny Holiday.
Yeah, his act's more of a thriller.
I've seen him, man. I've seen that. Let's not talk about how bad magic can be, but he's just
when he was having a good show, I would say that and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, he is the best, especially manipulator, street magician in the world. But when he's having a bad show, he's probably the worst street magician, and he's dangerous. But anyway. But me trying to emulate that, like this hot shot guy who knows what he's doing, has got his act together, and who's street tough and street wise, and I was getting into trouble because I was a little skinny guy, and I couldn't, and I wasn't that good at magic anyway to back it up, and so I ended up thinking to myself, well, what would happen if Don Knotts, Barney Fife, who's always trying to be like the sheriff in Mayberry, and so I went that route. So and I was going to be like this Barney Five trying to be Sunny Holiday. So that's what it is. I'm a so my character kind of fell in there, but I remembered that's what I used to think. Kind of what a magician was. It was the magician who thinks he's good, but kind of a bumbling guy. But it really is real. It's happening. Like the magic is happening.
What I'm hearing here is that it doesn't happen instantly. You got to work for it, maybe, to find
and look for him.
Yep.
Every day you have to go out and look for him. And the best way to find him is to do shows. The best way to be a good street performer, do more shows.
So
Marty's stop staying at home.
For sure. Let me go back to a comment I passed up. I almost put on here. Marty, growth mindset theory suggests that anyone can perform in the street given enough effort and perseverance, right? Although your early experience will shape your character. Maybe so. Also this, I don't like thinking you were born to do this thinking.
Yeah, it's already starting.
I actually do agree with you, Jimmy. I do think that there is a je ne sais quoi that draws.
Well, here's the thing. Now let me try and explain it one more time. Okay, so what I'm saying is that anybody can go out and do it, yes, and at best be mediocre.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to be great, you should do whatever it is you were born to do. So sure, some guy who was born to be a mechanic, a master mechanic, can go out on the street and practice and persevere and start making a living at it. Yes, he'll start making a great living at it. Don't get me wrong. And he'll think he's great. He may think he's great. That money may convince him, but his audience won't. And they won't make documentaries about him. They're not going to do like what they do with Cellini and everything. So, but on the other hand, anyway, I'm getting older, but I will say this. I've been doing this all my life, and I've tried. I have so many students. I've tried to train them with, hey, anybody can do it. I tried to do it, and it doesn't work. It doesn't work for the student. But hundreds of other students who are all now professional, who have successful lives, right, who are still doing it. But the other method, you're born to do it. So what I found is not only does it work for me, but it's worked for 100% of my students.
Now you might have some more of a narrow viewpoint as it applies to busking.
Yeah.
Right. And this is the thing about busking. It's insanely hard, but it's got a huge allure. It's like, what do you want to do? I want to be a busker, travel the world and do my art. And then you go out there to do it, and it's insanely hard.
It's super hard.
Right.
So only a crazy person who was born to do it would do it.
That's the point. So the chosen few,
that's it,
this is just for busking. And there's probably a lot of it has, I think a magician has an easier road into a professional. Like you can start doing kid shows next week. You go buy a coloring book, some crap from the magic shop. You can be a professional entertainer.
I had one person in Galway. Well, there's two guys in Galway. It was in Ireland, and they came up to me and they said there was these guys. We went to a lecture. We saw them on the internet. We went to a lecture, and they said that anybody could do it. Anybody, if you just kept practicing, you kept. And I said, really, where are they? And they said, I don't know. And I said, well, why aren't they working? Did you see them work? And they said, well, no, they don't really work. And I said, well, you saw me work for 2 weeks now, every day. You see me working all the time. Where are they? And so the other thing, you could have your opinions. But it's like I said, it all ends when you walk out to the spot. I mean, we can sit here and talk all day, and people can argue with me. You show up on the spot, that's different.
I think we're going a little deep down a rabbit hole. My goal here was to kind of keep you in short snippets because really, I
talk a lot.
We could do this. This could be a 3-hour show. We could do this every day for months on end, you and me, and just talk about these things. We'll do it again. Assuming, people want this. If y'all want it, let us know. Let us know in the comments. And we'll do a Jimmy Doug extended. But is there any topic that you wanted to mention maybe to a student that we haven't talked about that could be beneficial? Like if you could change a life with a few more words.
Okay, I would say two things. I'd say always go towards the suffering. Get out of your comfort zone. Go towards the suffering. Go work on the spots that are hard to work on purpose. Don't go to the good spot on Saturday, right? Stop doing that.
This is where you reap the benefits
Right.
of working the shit days.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because if you here's the thinking on this, okay? Let's say you go to a real street corner in a suburb somewhere, right? Like that's probably the worst place to work. So you go there and you work there, and you only got people walking by you very rarely. But whatever you do that stops them and you get them to watch you, it's got to be good, right? Not on Saturday on the good spot. You could be terrible and they'll stop and watch you because there's thousands of people on that spot. But if you're on a bad spot and they stop and watch you, your material's good.
Let's go back to that clip I showed earlier. Like I said, it's Sunday morning. If you look in that clip, there's 3 or 4 other street performers in the background watching Jimmy get the crowd. Like you sneak in there when no one else is working because it's time to work and no one else is working. That's you definitely practice what you preach, brother. I gotta say thank you here to Gregory Snyder supporting the efforts, officially becoming the most prominent super chatter. A nice little gratuity there. And I missed you last time, Gregory, so I owe you a double thank you. And I'm glad you're enjoying the offerings. Thank you for a little greasing the wheel. We're getting a couple of questions, and I do want to keep this around an hour. I still have a wand to give away. Still don't know how I'm going to give away the wand. Let's get a couple of questions in. If you could answer these quickly.
Oh, the wands?
Let's do this question.
Okay.
How does Jimmy handle hecklers and difficult passersby?
Well, generally I try and outstupid them. Like because remember my character's not so smart.
Okay.
Right. And basically the character I usually portray is kind of like the village idiot. So usually people are going to root for the village idiot. They're not going to.
You don't have a lot of confrontation from.
No. Why do you want to heckle an idiot?
There are difficult.
You don't want to get into a fight with an idiot. Then now you got 2 idiots. So now you just need to make that clear for my character. That's what I do. I try and make it clear to this guy. If you start arguing with me, there's going to be 2 idiots up here everybody's laughing at.
Yeah.
You don't want to be up here with me.
So this advice is character dependent. And your answer is going to be different depending on who you are.
Right.
So,
right.
Jimmy, do you actually smoke? You told me you quit. Did you really quit?
Yeah, I've quit. Yeah, for a while. I've done it before. I've quit.
Do you have cigarettes in your house now?
Yeah, but they ain't mine. There's somebody's got some cigarettes here.
Still doing that cigarette trick?
I haven't done that for I think the last time
that might have been the last time you did it, huh? I know you were phasing that out of your act.
I prefer not to do that trick. Okay, we'll talk about the cigarette trick. So I prefer not to do it because for my own personal reasons, which are probably wrong. But the reason I don't want to do it is because I don't like I'm trying to attract families with kids and moms and dads and stuff like that. So I don't want to be smoking around. But I did notice to the greatest advantage is that none of these street performers are doing cigarette tricks anymore. And when I do a cigarette trick, instant crowd. I don't even have to try. I just light a cigarette and I got a massive crowd showing up. What's this guy? Because everybody's so terrified of cigarettes.
When I decided
paranoia.
When I said let's put this clip on Facebook, I thought that exact thought. Because you say watch the cigarette, and I thought
3 million views.
Watch it.
That's what I'm talking about.
It's like an anomaly.
It's especially Americans, all over the world.
Look, let's move on from the cigarette. Let's move on to the cigarette. I got a good question from a very important person, I think. Goldbug. This is a young man, 16 years old, started magic a couple years ago. Well, guess what he's going out and doing on the weekends now, or maybe every day. I don't know how often he does it. He's out there street performing. He's doing it, man. You can go watch his clips online. Go look at him later, Jimmy. But what's the answer? What's the best way to get a show started on a bad day?
Oh, yeah.
Now, okay. There you go. So first, let's go back to sound.
By any means necessary. What I would do, what I've always tried to do, especially if you're young. I'm not young anymore, so it's getting harder for me to do this. But what I would try and do is not try and stop one person. Whatever you do, avoid that at all costs.
Okay.
Right? What you want to do is try and stop everyone. Stop trying to stop one person. Try and stop everyone on that sidewalk. So get loud. The biggest mistake I see magicians do, it used to be they would ask people if they want to see a magic trick. No, they don't want to see a magic trick. Stop asking them that question. But that's not the worst thing they do now. Now what they do is they whisper or they talk. They keep their face down and they mumble and they look at. The way I try to portray it is what you're doing is very important. You perform miracles, man. You do magic tricks. These are amazing. It's kind of like if somebody saw an atomic bomb on the sidewalk, you wouldn't go to everybody walking on the sidewalk. Hey, I think we have a problem. Excuse me. Pardon. No, you would be freaking out. You'd be trying to stop everyone on the sidewalk to see how important this bomb is. Well, I would say the same thing. If you're having if it's a bad day, start using volume, right? Look up, look at all the people, try and grab everyone, not one person, try and get everybody on that sidewalk to look at you.
Great advice.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a different approach to starting, which was my preferred approach, stop one or two and then build. And the other approach going, hey, everybody, let's go,
Well, I'll tell you what, though, I don't prefer the method I just said.
Yeah.
What I prefer is I don't.
Yeah,
I
by
prefer,
any means necessary, by hook or crook.
You have to be bad day, right? Right. But on a good day, heck, man, I would much rather they come up to a table. I love working with a table. My whole life, I didn't work with a table. I'm off and on, but my money making days, I never did. I bring a table out for fun. But what I really prefer is when I'm not ballying at all, I'm just standing behind a table. Somebody walks up, says, "Show me something." I go, "Okay," now I'm in a great mood. It's great. But when I need to make money, if we're talking about money, if we're talking about getting shows started when it's bad, oh no, that's when we got to get the attention of the world has got to see something's going on over here.
So what about this one? How do you pick your spot?
Oh, that's what I wanted to talk about tonight. That's very important. Okay.
Got there. Good.
All right. Yeah, that's very important. Okay. There's a chapter in my book, To Lure with Spectacle.
And this book is a manual for street performers.
Yes, it's a manual. It's about the office. I call the pitch the office. It's my office. Okay. Yeah. So what you want to do is you don't want to be at your house practicing magic tricks. Stop doing that. You want to practice, but you always want to practice in front of a mirror. So what you're going to do is practice in front of a business windows, or in front, out. You want to be on the pitch practicing, because you want to get paid to practice, right? If you can't get people to stop and watch you, at least for a show, at least you should be getting paid to practice. Keep that hat out or that bucket out to get paid while you're practicing. But get comfortable out there. Bring your coffee out there. If you smoke your cigarette, whatever. If you're eating, have your lunch out there. Spend the day on the that's your office, just as if you had a real office, right? You're going to spend the whole day in your office, 8 hours, 10 hours, whatever. Do a lot of hours, right? So this is mostly for young people. Street performance is a young people's game, right? I go out now for a couple of hours, do a few shows, and I'm home. But you shouldn't do that if you're trying to make. If you're trying to start your life as a street performer. But anyway, what I would say is get comfortable with that spot. Also, try and figure out, and this is more direct to the answer to that question, try and figure out the natural theater, right? So there's certain places on the sidewalk that have little crevices, like abandoned doorways are great because you can dip in there and your sides are covered. That means your angles are good. But make sure there's enough place for the people to stand in front of you, where you're not making them go out into the street and get run over by cars, and make sure you're not blocking up doorways, but find a natural recess that looks like a great place that has people walking would be great, preferred in front of you.
Here, a bit of advice Cellini offered was to try to find a situation that has multiple lanes of traffic.
Yes.
More than 2, ideally. So
yeah, I try and get them all angles, coming in this way, coming towards me, coming in diagonally, every which way. Even coming around this way would be great. But whatever. So, but the last thing I was going to say about that was, geez, I can't remember.
Well, while you're thinking there, let me say hello to my brother from another mother, David Miller, and thank you, sir, as well, for sharing some of your hard-earned money for the cause. Now, y'all stop that or Jimmy's going to want to cut. I'm going to have to be shelling out some cash to Mr. Talksalot here. I don't want none of that happening.
Oh, no, you're fine.
But you guys, let's talk about how they can give you money, because you do sell things. I want you to get a plug in here. So I did put a link in the description to your blog. Is that kind of your go-to, your blog?
Yeah, that's my blog where you can read all my writings about street performing and other things.
I recommend this blog all the time. It's an easy recommendation. If y'all want to learn more, go there. But if you want to support Jimmy and become a better magician, what else you got, man?
So yeah, I guess I'll do this special. So for this thing today, for the next week, if you mention that you saw this on this show, you can get my book is To Lure with Spectacle.
Right.
It's $30. But if you mention on this that you saw this on the show,
okay,
and you put it in your send me an email. If you buy this book and you send me an email saying you saw it on the show, I'll send you the study guide. It's kind of a companion to this. It has other writers in it, other street performer writers, with myself in here, but other writers that are in it. And I'll send that to you for free. I usually sell it for $20. I sell it quite often. They're pretty popular because there's a lot of other writers in here, other street magicians.
That's a huge value.
Yeah,
that is super gimme. So they buy Lure with Spectacle. You get the
study guide.
Study guide as
with the other author, with the other street magicians who wrote their articles. There's Chris Bentz, Eric Evans. Other
Eric
people
Evans, great.
Yeah. And so. And I'll for this week, I'll send them both out to you for the price of the Lurid Spectacle,
which is $30.
$30, yeah.
That's a deal. Y'all go give Jimmy some money and then get stuff.
Yeah, please.
Let's. I want to get Marty's question in here. Do you think a park makes a good pitch?
Yeah, I've worked parks. Yeah, it's not as ideal as a like a resort town. Mm-hmm. Like a boardwalk or a high traffic sidewalk or something.
Yeah, shopping areas with restaurants and bars. These are the hot spots.
But it depends on the park too, and what's going on at the park. I mean, if there's a festival going on at the park, that might be better than the other spots. So it just depends. Mm-hmm. But like I said, but the way I if you're just starting out, like I said, once again, go towards the suffering. Try and let that be a mantra in your head. I'm going to go towards the suffering. I'm going to go towards the harder thing, the more difficult thing. And so what I would do is that just try to perform anywhere. I had a student named Gypsy Joe. Gypsy Joe would work the medians of we call them in New Orleans, we call them neutral ground. It's that like kind of divider in the middle of the road. He worked there by the stoplights. And he'd make like $100, every. I remember once I didn't have enough money to buy us lunch, and he said no problem. He walked out there for 10 minutes, came back with $100. We went and ate lunch. It was on him.
The value of I know this in my life. As long as these can move, I'll never want.
That's right.
A meal and a place to live, and
He also used to work in front of Best Buy. He got permission to work in front of Best Buy. All the customers are coming in. I have a buddy down, we call him Abe, down in New Orleans, all right? And he looks like Abraham Lincoln. And he busts in the bars. He'll just walk into the bar, he'll order a drink.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, he's walking out with all these bills, and he's half loaded. He's got all these drinks. Yeah?
You make a good living and probably stay drunk if you want, working bars.
Yeah, I don't drink.
On track with trying to sell some more of your things here. They're asking about PDFs.
Yes, I sure do. I saw all my stuff's in PDF. You just go to jimmytalksalot.blogspot.com.
So would you offer this deal too? I guess if someone buys a Lure with Spectacle PDF, you'll send them the other.
I will.
Okay, cool. There you go, guys. Yes, I was prepared for that.
But you got to send me an email, so I know who you are. I only want it for these people.
Right. So only if you've seen me.
Yeah, only for this week. So you got to do it within the week.
All right, man. Look. let's wrap this thing up. We're at an hour 10. I only do this because I don't know how long YouTube wants to hang out with us. We're going to treat this as our test drive. It's been a great experience, in my opinion. And I know we gave a lot of good information. Some people here, I love it. Look, you're making sales, man. Drew bought one. Jake bought one. Things are happening. You're finally going to have enough for that operation.
Yeah. Yeah.
That gambling operation. Jimmy's pulling up the sales page. He can't wait till after the stream. Look, we're going to give this one away old school, folks. I'm going to pull a card out of here. If someone can tell me what it is, I'm going to let you pick the black wand. And I'll actually just go for value. We got 50 people watching here. If someone can name the value of this card, you've won a bacon magic wand of your choice. Send you a brown or black. Sticky's managing to guess the only value that is not a value. We don't need suits, and it's not a 3. Oh, there's a winner in Clemente with the king. It's a king of diamonds in Clemente. So I'm going to need you to send me an email. Send me an email with your username in Clemente. And I'll send you a wand. You're going to need to choose black or brown. If you need to know what they look like, you can go back to the beginning of the stream and see it there. Congratulations. And again, if you want another chance to win this week, drop a line in the comments after the stream below. Use the word Monty, and you'll be in the drawing for the Con Man kit. $60 value. I'll ship it to your house with a smile on my face. Yeah, congratulations. Hey, we all owe a big thank you to my buddy Jimmy. Jimmy.
Oh, no, thank you.
Thanks for hanging out.
I'm sorry I get so passionate and I get crazy.
Oh, I knew this. I knew we'd have to do some wrangling in, and one day we'll just do this. It won't matter. I'm like trying to keep this concise and interesting and algorithmic happy, but one day we might just do this for 6 hours. And if you don't want to watch it, get to stepping. We're just going to do it anyway. I won't care as much.
I miss being over there in New Orleans, hanging out with you and the family.
You know the door's open, brother. You know the door's open. You'll be here one day. Look! Everyone says thank you. James,
thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
Yes. Don't apologize for passion. All right, guys. So
right.
This is going to be a finale to day 2 of Conn's Magic Camp, made extra special through my good buddy Jimmy Talksalot. I got to thank again the super chatters, Gregory, David, thanks again, and double thanks to the people who chose to spend a little money with Jimmy.
Thank you.
Because you'll enjoy.
My landlord thanks you.
There we go. All right, guys. Well, I'll say bye to Jimmy as I say once again, thanks to my kindred spirits. I do appreciate your time, your attention, your energy. I'll be back tomorrow with Steve Reynolds. I'm working on some details as we found out today that my stepson, he caught COVID. So I'm hoping I don't get COVID, and I'm hoping this doesn't get out of control. But I was going to have Steve here. He's probably going to Zoom in like he did with Jimmy, although he's still welcome here if he wants to try. Stay tuned tomorrow and see what happens. It should be interesting. At the very least, I'll be here bringing something to the table, and I'll see you then, guys. That'll be a wrap. I think the words I use are ciao for now. See you on the next one. Au revoir.